services. Funding was provided through a Hewlett grant. Reading is an essential source of information and learning for college students. Your goal is to keep up with the many pages of reading you will be assigned and to understand and learn the material for class discussions, writing assignments, and examinations. This videotape will present 3 specific strategies for becoming a more effective and efficient reader. These strategies are: prepare to read, increase your reading rate, and improve your reading comprehension. Prepare to read. Before you start to read, prepare by using these 4 techniques. Read earlier in the day. Read for short periods of time. Set goals for the time you will spend reading, and read in a place that will facilitate your learning. For most students, the most productive time to read is during the day. Reading during the daylight or early evening hours will allow you to concentrate better and retain more of what you read. If your reading is especially challenging, read in short chunks of time, such as 30 to 40 minutes. Take a short break and then return to your reading. Before you begin to read an assignment, spend a moment to remind yourself what your purpose or goal is. Ideally, your goal in reading a college textbook or journal article is to reduce the reading assignment to 1 to 3 summary or review sheets, which record the key ideas and supporting details. The best places to read are in a library, an empty classroom, or some other location on campus. Your residence hall room or apartment has too many distractions and temptations. Get in the habit of doing your reading in one place and go there consistently throughout the term.
I have to find the right time to study. I can't go into it when I'm wiped out and fatigued. I have to have the right conditions. I have to have the book in front of me. I have to have good lighting, all these things that perhaps people take too much for granted, but it makes a difference.
Improve your reading rate. You can improve your reading rate by training your eyes to make fewer stops or fixations per line. You can develop this reading skill by taking some light reading, like a mystery novel, and drawing 2 vertical lines down each page. The lines you draw will break each printed line on the page into groups of 3 or 4 words. Take a pen, pencil, or your finger and tap just below each group of words while you train your eyes to stop or fixate once on each group. Do this in a rhythmic fashion, starting slowly at first. While your eyes are making fewer stops or fixations per line, concentrate on asking and answering these questions. What is this paragraph or page about? What is the key idea? How is the information presented or organized? Practice this technique of improving your reading speed for 10 to 15 minutes a day. When you feel comfortable using this technique, start reading your academic assignments this way. You will be reading more efficiently because you are making fewer stops with your eyes and using your mind to search more actively for the important information. You are developing a skill, so be patient and diligent.
Ideally, what we try and teach students is that knowing this technique and using other strategies for reading text, you will learn how to vary your reading rate depending on what it is that you're reading, so that you can choose which strategy to use depending on whether you need to progress through the text at a slower pace or whether this is something that you can do in more of a skimming nature or in more of a fast-paced and idea-oriented nature.
Improve your reading comprehension. A proven method of improving your ability to get more out of your textbook reading is the SQ3R strategy. This technique was developed by Professor Francis Robinson at The Ohio State University. It works well for all informational prose, especially textbooks and readings in the sciences and social sciences. The SQ3R stands for survey, question, read, review, and recite. Survey. Begin reading your textbooks and reading assignments by surveying the entire chapter or journal article first. Ask yourself, how long is it? How is it divided? What do the pictures and graphs illustrate? Is there a summary at the end? Surveying your reading assignment for a few minutes allows you to get an overview, a mental map that can guide you in knowing how to begin to take the chapter apart and learn the information in it. By first surveying the chapter, you will cognitively and psychologically ease your way into the reading assignment. You may find that surveying allows you to read the chapter more quickly because you can make decisions about what to read carefully or what to skip, such as a half-page introduction to the chapter. Question. Active readers silently ask and answer questions when they read. When you are surveying a chapter, and when you are reading it more closely, you should be searching for the answers to key questions such as, what is this chapter about? How is it organized? What is the main idea? What facts or examples support it? Accelerate your understanding and learning by writing down or outlining the most important information, often represented by the title, headings, and subheadings. Good readers are active readers. Read. Effective reading is hard work, but you can get more out of your reading by surveying and questioning the reading assignment first. Now that you have an overview of the reading, take each section of the reading apart. Take notes on what the main idea or themes are and how they are illustrated. Again, your goal is to reduce the many pages of a reading assignment to 2 or 3 pages of summary notes. Note-taking is a concrete task and will improve your concentration. Review. The hard work of reading is taking the chapter apart and reducing the information into notes or an outline. Note-taking will help you get a good understanding of the textbook, but you may need to learn the material so that you can retrieve the information on a test or examination. Review your notes once or twice a week, or more often depending on the difficulty of the reading material. Reviewing allows you to further your understanding of the information and begin to see the larger themes and make connections with information from lectures, class discussions, and other reading assignments. Reviewing is a critically important part of the learning process. In the same way musicians regularly rehearse scales or athletes repeatedly practice a movement or technique, successful students actively review their reading assignments. Recite. The most powerful way for students to take information from short-term memory and place it into their long-term memory is to recite. To practice the information by saying it out loud or writing it out on paper. Schedule some time each week for reciting or practicing the information from your reading assignments by yourself or with some of your classmates. Recite or write out the information, thereby learning it well. Do this during the term, long before you will be tested on it. Your test and course grades will improve, and you'll be able to recall the information in future courses.
Make sure that outside of class you can not reproduce everything that the professor does, but make sure that you understand the material well enough that you can, in a math class, solve problems, or in another class you're conversant with the terminology and the language of the discipline, so that you yourself can explain the material to someone else.
To review, this videotape introduced you to 3 specific strategies for being a better reader. Prepare to read, increase your reading rate, and improve your reading comprehension by using the SQ3R method. Survey, question, read, review, and recite. Practice these strategies, and you'll become a more effective and efficient reader.